Let's learn how to take numbers written in scientific notation with negative exponents and write them in standard notation. When we say standard notation, we just mean write them as normal numbers. So our first example here says platelets are one component of human blood. A typical platelet has a diameter of approximately 2.33 times 10 to the negative sixth meters. Write 2.33 times 10 to the negative sixth in standard notation. So the first thing that we want to notice here is that because the exponent is negative, that means we're going to be moving our decimal point to the left to make a smaller number. So whatever our answer is, it's going to be smaller than 2.33. That means we're going to have a 0 point and then some more zeros before we get to 233. The thing we have to figure out is how many zeros come after that decimal point. So we're going to start with the 2.33, and we're going to start moving this decimal point to the left, and we need to move it to the left 6 times. That's what negative sixth power on the 10 means. The issue is that after I move it one time and stick it in front of the 2, I have now run out of space to move this decimal point. I moved it one time in front of the 2. There's nowhere else for me to move it once I put it right here, and I still need to move it 5 more times. I have to move it a total of 6 times, and so far I've only gone one time. The way that we solve this problem is the same way we solved it when we were moving the decimal to the right side, which is we start adding zeros. So I've moved the decimal one time. I still need to move it 5 more times, so I'm going to add 5 zeros. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we put our decimal point right there. So our answer is 0.000000233. So it was to the negative sixth power. So we had a decimal point, 5 zeros, and then 233. And it's good math practice to put a leading 0 in front of the decimal. And so this is what we would actually write for our final answer. 0.000000233. Okay, negative sixth power means after the decimal you have 5 zeros and then 233. Okay, let's take a look at this one. 1.045 times 10 to the negative sixth. So we start off with our 1.045. This is a negative exponent, so we're going to move our exponent 6 spots to the left. And just like before, after we move it one time, we have run out of space. We need to move it 5 more times, so we're going to add 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a decimal point, 5 zeros, 1045, and as usual, we want to have that 0 in front of the decimal. Just good math practice to have it there. And so our answer is 0.000001045. Hopefully you're seeing that this is pretty simple. You just take your exponent, negative 6, add 1 to it to get negative 5. 5 is how many zeros you have after the decimal point. So we have 9.9 times 10 to the negative fifth. How many zeros do you think we're going to have after the decimal? Well, if we add 1 to negative 5, we get negative 4. Probably going to be 4 zeros after the decimal. Let's see. So we do 9.9. We move our decimal once. It's in front of the first 9. That's only one time though. We need to move it 5 times, so we need 4 more zeros. So, whoopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's our decimal. Hey, look at that. 4 zeros after the decimal. So 0.0000099. And there's our standard form, standard notation number. Okay, one more. Jeremy measured the length of an ant. Don't ask me how Jeremy did that. Measure the length of an ant as 1 times 10 to the negative second meters. Write this length in standard notation. So we're going to take 1 and then move the decimal 2 places to the right. So 2 places to the right means we're probably just going to have 1 0 after the decimal, right? -2 plus 1 is -1, so probably a decimal and then 1 0. So if we take the number 1, we have a hidden decimal here right after the 1. So if we move it 1 time, that'll be in front of the 1, but we need to move it 2 times. So we put a 0 here, and there's our decimal. So as we expected, 0.01. And oops, since this has a unit, we better put our unit on there. 0.01, or 1/100th of a meter, is what the length of the ant is.